Are there constructive things that you can do to help restore a culture of life? Find out next on this edition of Life Matters. Brian Johnston is the Western Director of the National Right to Life Committee. He has served in many capacities while advocating for innocent lives, as California Commissioner on Aging, as Chairman of the California ProLife Council, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. And now here's our host, Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters, your program on life, culture, and the very real battle of ideas. And as you know, ideas have consequences. And in this battle of ideas, lives are truly at stake. This is a very real battle, and it involves human lives. So we're here to equip you, and I've got good news for you. If you're in California, you have been making a difference. You know that here in California, we have one of the most radical state legislatures in the entire nation. In California, it's controlled by the California Democrat Party, and that party is in turn controlled by the most radical pro-abortion, pro-choice. And again, choice means abortion for any reason, or no reason in particular, and at any time. There should be no limits on human abortion, according to the pro-choice mentality. And that's the mentality that governs California's legislature and is giving your tax dollars to the abortion industry, and really without limit. But I've got great news, and it's because of you, the listeners of Life Matters. There were two bills we targeted this year. One was Senate Bill 309, created new special pro-abortion license plates for California. They were Celebrate Choice plates. And some of you saw the testimony I gave at the state Senate regarding this. Really, the language involved in this is very dishonest, and this creates a whole new fund, a pool of money, if you will, another one, because California is already through many different agencies, and not just the general fund, but different funds for, quote, family planning, is giving Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry millions of dollars already. This would give them more, but more to the point, it would make the DMV be a government-sponsored advertiser for the abortion industry. There are 27 states that have Celebrate Life license plates. And in the state of Virginia, they were asked to also have a Celebrate Life plate and a Celebrate Choice plate. And they did pass that there, but they have Celebrate Life plates as well. All the other states only have Celebrate Life. Here in California, Senator Jackson only wanted choice. And in our testimony, I had to point out that, well, choice means that there is another decision that can be made. You can decide to allow the child to live, but the way you're using the word choice and the way it's used is dishonest, because it's come to only mean killing of this human baby. That's what choice is equated to be. And this is very, very dishonest. Again, it created a new fund. It created the DMV marketing and advertising throughout the state on license plates for the abortion industry and mentality. And it stopped. We stopped that bill because of this radio program, because of your listening and acting. Many of you called your legislators. Many of you wrote in. We had a petition that we presented. You were involved in that because you raised your voice. It's this radio program's listeners that did that. There was another bill this session. This session is coming to an end now. We had targeted another bill, Senate Bill 481. And by the way, there's still other bad bills, but these are the two we targeted. We also stopped Senate Bill 481. Senate Bill 481, on the other end of life, put people in nursing homes at great risk. Now, this is something that is happening. But what Senate Bill 481 did is it protected the nursing homes in this case. Nursing homes are right now at times making decisions. We don't want this patient anymore. They're costing us too much. They quit giving that person food and water. And of course, they free that bed up. What Senate Bill 481 would do is protect those nursing homes from any kind of prosecution when that happens. The law, instead of protecting the vulnerable patient, Senate Bill 481 by Senator Pan would protect the nursing homes when they did that. And so we stopped that bill, but it was you, the listeners. You were paying attention. We also did a petition on that. You contacted your legislators. You got informed. You made a difference. So this radio show, which we intentionally stepped out, we knew to impact California, the most radical state in the nation, we needed a statewide tool. And this radio program is heard throughout the state, from the San Diego border reaching all the way up to Ukiah, through all the major metropolitan areas, simulcast at 1 p.m. on Saturdays, also heard on some stations on Saturdays at 7, but also on podcast and via various social media outlets. But your listening and acting is what changed this. In the most difficult state in the nation, again, here in California, I'll be honest with you, it's so bad, the Democrat Party completely controls things, that several Republicans that shouldn't have basically quit. By that, no, they're still in office, but they're just voting with the Democrats. I was told specifically on these bills, hey, you know what? Just let it go. You're not going to stop these bills. Resistance is futile. You're just going to get people resenting you. Just let it go, and maybe in another session you can do something. Well, I didn't, and you didn't, because we have to speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. But if you'd like to call me, go ahead and give me a call. Call our 800 number. I'll give you the names of these Republicans that are voting with the Democrats. And this is a battle of ideas. Now, the Republican Party actually has platforms explicitly endorsing life and the protection of human life. They're turning their back on that because of the power of the Democrat Party and Jerry Brown. But we didn't give up, and you didn't give up. So the fact that we stopped these bills is of huge significance. And I have to tell you again, we had to step out to make sure we had a statewide radio show to reach pro-life people, to equip them with facts, and equip them with knowledge about what's happening, to make them effective in the battle of ideas. And you have been effective. So thank you for that. I can't thank you enough. But I have to remind you, too, that this radio show has cost us a lot to have that kind of radio reach throughout the whole state. And again, simulcast throughout the whole state. It cost us a lot in airtime. So I'm asking you, if you would please now, go to CaliforniaProLife.org. That's CaliforniaProLife.org, and make a pledge to support us. We have very, very heavy burdens in paying for airtime. We actually really need $25,000 right now, I'll be honest with you. And we haven't even gone through the year. Our return on summertime donations get very, very low. And so this is a tough battle, and it was a very tough legislative session. And it's incredible to say, and I really thank God as well, because I know personally I was involved in many of the prayers. Prayers are important, but action is also equally as important. Ore et labore, as one old saint once said. So that means pray and work. And you're involved in both of that here through California Pro-Life and through Life Matters Radio. Again, go to lifematters.life to get to the podcast, and you can subscribe there. But also go to CaliforniaProLife.org to help us with the airtime, because it's the immediacy of radio airtime going out to the right people throughout this whole state of California. Again, a state of 40 million people. Life Matters can be heard basically on nearly every AM radio in the state of California in a populated area. So we don't reach every far corner, but we reach all of the populated areas of California and reach them very effectively. It's the airtime that cost us. So please consider pledging to CaliforniaProLife.org to our airtime. Help us make a difference in this battle for life and in the most difficult state to battle. And we're winning. It's incredible. I can't thank you enough. I'm very thankful to God for his intervention and help, but it's because you made yourself available to do the right thing. So thank you. And again, please pledge to CaliforniaProLife.org. It's on the web, or if you'd like, call our 800 number, 800-924-2490. Thank you again, and we'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Life Matters. If you have questions or comments for Life Matters, call 800-924-2490. Give us your name and the town you're calling from, and a quick question or comment.
Power. You're pro-life and you want to defend your position, but you're not sure what to say. That's pretty common. So get the facts you need to back up your pro-life position with the Power of 7 app. The Power of 7 gives you effective pro-life replies to 7 of the most common pro-abortion arguments. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it's free. Power of 7. Download it now at thepowerof7.org. The Power of 7, the number 7.org.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Well, welcome back to Life Matters, your program on life, culture, and the battle of ideas. And today we have a very special guest with us, one of our Life Matters partners, and that is Sylvia Aimerito, who is an amazing woman. She is an audiophile herself, but she and her sister have actually provided a wonderful tool for the pro-life movement. I'm excited about it because it's so close to what it is we do with Life Matters. We want to equip you to help others in this battle of ideas. Sylvia, tell us about the Power of Seven.
Hi, Brian. So the ministry that I run is called Audio Girl Ministries, and we've been going since around 2009. And one of the things that we discovered is that we really wanted to be able to put knowledge in the hands of life defenders. Quite often, you could be in a situation where you want to defend your pro-life position, but you just go blank, or you forget, or you don't know, you're afraid you'll say the wrong thing, or all of those. So we combined that technology with promoting and defending your pro-life position. And we created, it's called The Power of Seven. It's the number 7, The Power of Seven. This app is really pro-life replies, very effective pro-life replies to 7 of the most common pro-abortion arguments. So they're right there at your fingertips. You can learn them quickly and easily. The app is free because we want it on as many smartphones and tablets as we can get. And it's a great device, and it's current. We're using today's technology to defend our unborn brothers and sisters and women in crisis pregnancies.
Yes, exactly. This is so excellent because I know many, in fact, I know it's in the thousands of people who are pro-life. They consider themselves personally very pro-life. But when they come up against the kind of simplistic arguments that really are used to justify killing that child, and because they're culture-wide arguments, there's a frustration. Oh, choice. Well, is it a choice really? And how do you get down to that? And how do you win people over to even listen? And that's what I like about your program is,
thanks, Brian.
Yeah, you want to encourage people as you engage them in the discussion. You want to encourage them so that they're open to what your perspective is. And you've done so well in providing that tool, I think.
Well, thanks, Brian. And one of the things we talk about before we even get into the arguments on the app is how to set yourself up and be ready for that discussion, that dialogue. You need to pray. You need to listen. You need to find some common ground. Admit when you don't have the answer, and keep it simple. And we run through those simple little techniques that are easy to remember and helps keep us centered and remembering that, we're battling evil. We're not battling that person. We're fighting an evil, and we need to stay Christ-centered and be ready for the battle and then speak truth. So that's what we've done. And the app, The Power of Seven, which is available at thepowerof7.org, The Power of Seven, that's the number 7.org. We have links there. It's for Androids and smartphones, so available for everything. But we've kept this pretty simple and straightforward, so it's not overwhelming to the person that's using it. A couple of the arguments that we address, you have no right telling a woman what she can or cannot do with her body. We hear that all the time. Men don't get pregnant, so they shouldn't tell a woman what to do. Another one we look at. Abortion helps prevent overpopulation. They are the most common pro-abortion arguments that you'll hear. And you get the facts, and we've well researched all of our information. You get the facts and the information to rebuttal those in a very loving and truthful manner.
Yes. No, it's an excellent tool. It's thepowerof7.org, and it's the Arabic numeral 7. So don't spell it out, the power of 7. And it's just so excellent because you have it in your pocket. You have it right there.
It's right here. I'll tell you something. One gal told me that she got the app, and again, it's free at thepower7.org. You can either turn on the volume and hear me narrate the app, or you can turn it off. So this one particular woman who got the app said she turns on the audio, and while she's putting on her makeup in the morning, she runs through the app. It only takes about 7 or 8 minutes to listen to the entire audio on the app. And so every day she listens, that starts sinking in, and those facts start sticking with you. So you get to the point where, you can use the app as a reference, but you're going to know it just by hearing it over and over and over and over and over again. And we encourage people, we say it a particular way, of course, on the app. We give you the effective pro-life replies in a particular, way, but you'll end up making them your own.
Yes.
They'll become how you say it, which is what you want.
That's exactly right. Remember, folks, we're in a battle, and it's not a metaphor. to say that lives are lost because of this battle of ideas. And as Sylvia just mentioned, we're not battling these people. We're battling the ideas that they've allowed into their head that justifies killing other vulnerable human beings. That's obviously the case in abortion. It's the case, as all of you know, in euthanasia. But this battle is so real, it's as thick as water as we're walking through our culture. We are walking through these ideas that are taken for granted. And if you don't speak up, if you don't do anything about it, nothing will change. So a tool like the Power of Seven, available at powerofseven.org, is incredibly important because you are in this battle, whether you like it or not.
That's so true, Brian. One of the things that I've been getting from the pulpit the last couple of weeks at churches is that if we stay quiet when we know the truth, then we're part of the problem. We're not part of the answer. We need to be part of the answer. Once you know the truth about abortion or any, issue that ends a life, like you were saying as well, euthanasia at the other end of life. But once you know the truth, and the truth presents itself and is very obvious, you have to speak up. You have to be part of stopping this Holocaust of our time. You must be. You simply must.
Yes. Yes, amen. And that's why we want you to go now, if you have a chance, if you're sitting down at a computer, go to the powerofseven.org, go to the App Store on your phone, on your iPad, and it's free.
Yep, it's free. It's the Power of Seven. It's the number 7. You can't say it enough times, right, Brian?
That's right.
The powerofseven.org takes you to a page where we have links right there for you to keep it nice and simple, and more information and some, background information. Our privacy policy is up there, as well as, our sources, how we sourced out the information for the app. So please visit thepowerofseven.org. Get this app on your smartphone or tablet and start getting those facts. It's very empowering. It's very empowering. And when you get into that conversation with a person who is a pro-abort, then you're going to feel really good about saying one or two simple things. Now, you may not change a person's mind, but I guarantee even planting that pro-life seed, that seed of an idea, is what God is calling you to do.
Exactly. Sylvia, thanks so much. We're going to have you back on again soon, and we appreciate all you're doing. Talk to you soon.
I appreciate what you're doing, too. Thanks.
You're listening to Life Matters.
Hi, I'm Kevin Sorbo, and I was very excited when I heard about LifeFest Film Festival. LifeFest is the film festival dedicated to showcasing films that affirm the intrinsic worth of innocent human life and the profound significance of each life. One seemingly insignificant person can in fact change the whole world in which he or she lives. That one singular life ends up being of vital importance. I'm so glad to hear that you are cherishing that in this film festival and are committed to artfully and creatively protect the lives of those who can't possibly promote themselves.
Life Film Fest is dedicated to bring the message of life to Hollywood and to our culture. Go to lifefilmfest.com and get your tickets now. That's lifefilmfest.com.
Find out about the exciting cultural change impacting Hollywood. Go to lifefilmfest.com. And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Well, welcome back to Life Matters, your program on life, culture, and the very real battle of ideas. We have a very action-packed final segment. You were involved in the most extraordinary effort I have ever seen. That is the statewide effort to stop some very bad bills in a very bad legislature. You can go back and look at our previous discussions. But because you got involved and you spoke out and signed petitions against SB 309 that was making the DMV promote abortion and raising yet more funds for Planned Parenthood, you spoke out, you got involved, and you stopped it. You did the impossible. Literally, people in the Capitol said it's impossible to stop, but we did it. Also, SB 481, which would protect and justify nursing homes on their own cognizance, no other oversight. They could determine which beds they wanted to empty. The patients would have no say in that, and literally they could dehydrate patients to death without family members knowing, and it would protect not the patient, but the nursing home. What an insidious bill. And we stopped that bill. You were involved in raising your voice, and I want to thank you for that, for being involved in the battle of ideas. Very, very important. Here in California, If you're in the Bakersfield area and listening to KERI, your Congressman McCarthy, a great pro-lifer, he has told us he's going to bring forward the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act, and that's going to be late in October. And go ahead and give him a call and thank Congressman McCarthy for standing for life. It's critically important that in this battle of ideas we present the real issues, and in the Pain-Capable Act, it underscores that this is a unique human being that does feel pain. This bill may not get through the Senate the way it's set up. You and I know that. But what's exciting now is that when bills like this do get through the House, and this one will, when they do get through the Senate, they're going to be signed by the pro-life president of the United States. So this is very exciting, and that's the kind of bill, by the way, that the Supreme Court is likely to uphold, and that's very, very significant. Several other things are going on. Those of you who know me know that for years I've been talking about the very imminent threat of assisted suicide and other forms of euthanasia. I think that assisted suicide for Americans is the most attractive because Americans, in their ideology, tend to think of themselves as free to do what I want. And so if I decide that I want to be killed, it's my life anyways, so get out. And sadly, this is attractive. It's very, very bad reasoning on a number of levels. What do we know about suicide? We know that suicide is basically a cry for help, emotional help. It's an emotional need. Whether or not there's a physical condition present, the desire of suicide is not physical. It's an emotional and a transitory feeling. And people can be counseled about their suicide. Many people have gone into remission. Again, if you've read my book, Death as a Salesman, What's Wrong with Assisted Suicide, then you know a lot of these risks and arguments. The other issue, of course, is that suicide is actually potentially contagious. And this is widely documented throughout human history. You can go back to the first historian, Herodotus, and he described suicide contagion on the Greek island of Miletos. But throughout history, suicide has been seen as a potential contagion, which is why it's been discouraged and why in many cases actually outlawed. And you'll have to read the book more to get more details. But the reason I'm telling you this now, I want to remind you, California right now has legalized assisted suicide, and there are other forms of euthanasia being practiced that many people who should understand and know about this, they don't see or understand it. So we want you to do that. On November 18th, there's a conference at BIOLA University. I want to invite you to come to that Caring, Not Killing conference at BIOLA. I'm one of the speakers. There'll be other excellent speakers there. You can go to Caring, Not Killing on the web. We're also linked to that at the CaliforniaProLife.org, and that's a great conference at BIOLA University in November. In the meantime, I'm speaking several other places on this issue. September 22nd through the 24th, I'm going to be at the South Dakota Right to Life Convention, and go to South Dakota Right to Life on the web for the details there if you're in that neck of the woods. October 13th through 15th, I'll be speaking at the New Mexico Right to Life Convention on this topic. Again, this issue is very much with us. Sadly, many pro-life people are not prepared for this. They may be ready to protect babies because we love how cute and lovable babies are, but emotionally people get sucked in and aren't prepared to defend the vulnerable elderly, the disabled, the medically dependent. You have to be ready for this. So in October 13th through 15th in New Mexico, October 22nd through 27th, I'll be going back up to the Dakotas to North Dakota Right to Life. I'll be touring North Dakota because there's now a petition on their ballot. And so we want to equip the voters in North Dakota to really understand that medicine should not be used to kill, that medicine for 3,000 years swore they would never kill. You know, before the Hippocratic Oath, the doctor was the most terrifying member of society. It was the witch doctor. When they came to your hut, you didn't know if they were there to cure you or maybe kill you. The witch doctor was more feared than the tribal chief. Medicine has to be used only to benefit patients. If it's used lethally, do no harm. If it's used to harm, then it's the most dangerous practice in the world because now the doctor is a killer. Now the doctor gets to determine who lives and dies. You may say, well, no, I'm the one that gets to request it. Think about it. A doctor can say, no, I don't think you're ready. So I'm not going to give you this poison. So don't think that you get to make the decisions. This is authorizing the doctors to be the one who wields the poison. This is very, very scary for our society, and we get into that in great depth at all of these conferences. Again, go to Caring Not Killing. If you're in California, you can come to the conference at BIOLA November 18th. Go to deathasasalesman.com. You can see my book and the documentary video if you'd like to get a hold of that. You have to be prepared in this battle of ideas. Again, in this battle, human lives are at stake. And unless you speak up and engage in this battle of ideas, lives will be lost. So again, please be prepared. Those of you in California, I want to thank you again for stepping up. And I want to remind you that Life Matters is only on the air because of pledges and your support. Our airtime, as important as it is to be heard statewide, it's very expensive. If you could go to californiaprolife.org, that's californiaprolife.org, and make a pledge to keep California pro-life, that we want to be fighting. We want you fighting with us for those who can't speak for themselves. Please keep us on the air in California. We need you right now. I do want to remind you that you can be involved locally anywhere in California. Go to californiaprolife.org. There are chapters and affiliates of California Pro-Life and the National Right to Life Committee right nearby. Or if there's not, you can start one up. It's not hard to do. We'll show you how to do that. If you'd like to be a pro-life speaker, go to californiaprolife.org and sign up there. There's many things to be done. The task is great. The harvest is white. The laborers are few. We need you involved in this battle for our culture. And again, remember that California Pro-Life is sponsoring this program, that our airtime costs are hitting us hard. Please go to californiaprolife.org and sponsor a pledge. Or if you like, call our 800 number, 800-924-2490. That's 800-924-2490. If a volunteer doesn't pick up, please leave your name and your number and tell them that you want to pledge to Life Matters. And you'll get a call back from one of our volunteers. We really need you to help us do this right, to keep the message of life on the air and to keep people focused on the real battles that matter, the battle of ideas. So thank you for your help. And again, feel free to call us 800-924-2490 or go to the web, californiaprolife.org.
Learn more about everything in today's show online at lifematters.life, where you'll find all the resources you need to protect life. Life Matters is a production of the California Pro-Life Council, the state affiliate of National Right to Life. Wherever you are in the nation, you can find out more at National Right to Life. You can find vital pro-life information and also find the access to your state and local Right to Life affiliate. Get informed and get involved.